concert.
I've checked it already, President. Correct, President. Okay. Photographers, okay, can we just please take our seat? Salam alaikum, bonjour. Welcome to the final press conference of the Total Energies African Nations Championship. So we've now had 31 matches. Tonight we have the 32nd match. So we have the final match today at 20:30. So please note, not 2000, 20:30, between the host Algeria and Senegal. Please note that there are no tickets available. No tickets are available for this final. Now for this press conference, we have 4 languages. Excuse-moi, mon frère. Excuse-moi. So we have 4 languages for this press conference. Numéro 1, français. Numéro 2, anglais. Numéro 3, arabe. Numéro 4, portugais. Okay. Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir, President Motsepe. Marhaba. Thank you for being in this press conference. I have with me the President of CAF, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the President of the Algerian Football, President Jahid Zevizev. I've got the President of the Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Mr. Seydou Mbomonjoya, and the General Secretary of the of CAF, Mr. Veron Mosengo Omba. I'll now hand over to the President of CAF, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, to please address us. President, Marhaba, President. Shukran.
Is it on? Thank you so much, and thank you for the excellent work that you are doing and the CAF Media Department. And whilst I'm talking about the CAF Media Department, I also want to thank my brother Veron, the General Secretary, and the whole staff of CAF that has been here from the very beginning. Thank you so much. You see, for us in the business world, we always have to look after the people we have the privilege to work with and make sure that they are respected at work, but also that we pay them competitively. And that's one of the key issues that I do want us to do at CAF, is to employ the best on the African continent and really pay them competitively, pay them well. I also want to thank my brother Jahid for the wonderful work that he's done, the sacrifices, and thank our brothers and sisters who are part of his leadership, the Football Federation in Algeria, the local organizing committee. Thank you so much. Good work. This country has a proud football history. I was commenting coming to the stadium now. I mean, it's only almost 12:30, and the match is supposed to start at 8:30. But there are people coming to the stadium. And I can't mention another country that I know very well, because the family has got a football team that they arrive a few minutes before the stadium starts, the match starts. And it's, I think we can all learn. I want to continue thanking my brother, the chairman of the organizing committee. I was worried that he was applying for citizenship in Algeria, you know. He was spending so much time here and very happy and very enthusiastic. This is the chairman of the Chan Organizing Committee, my Vice President Seydou, for the good work and the leadership he's provided. I also want to thank all the vice presidents who are here, the 54 presidents of CAF, the countries that are part of CAF that are here with us at the stadium and have been here over the last few days. 2 quick remarks before before I then open it up to the floor. I want to thank President Thabune for his passion, support, hospitality. I had a very good meeting with him when I think it was my second meeting. Yeah, I met him in July last year, and I had a long meeting with him, and I always say that football in any country in Africa, to have a head of state who loves football, who believes in football, who's passionate about football, who supports football, builds football infrastructure, makes resources available, it's a huge benefit and a huge advantage for football development. And I just want to thank him. I thank his government, the government of Algeria, for their support, for their love, for their commitment to football in this country. The 54 nations in Africa whom CAF represents are very grateful. And finally, I want to thank the people of Algeria. I was saying that, whenever I go to the World Cup, and I'm happy that the number of countries that are going to America for the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup from Africa, will be increased. They say 9.5. I don't know how 9.5 works, but most probably it will be 10. And I saw Algeria during the Arab Cup in Qatar play very, very well. And for us in Africa, every nation that does well at the world stage, we are very proud of you, and we support you. You represent, when Algeria won during the Arab Cup, it was not only the people of Algeria that were celebrating, that were proud. It was the people of Africa. The whole 54 nations of Africa were celebrating and very proud of the performances of Algeria. And we were confident that Algeria will be in Qatar for the FIFA World Cup. So I'm doing here what I do in every nation where I go, to say, we want to see you at the World Cup. And a country like Algeria that has such a proud football history with exceptional football players, we want Algeria and every one of those that can qualify to be at the World Cup, to represent the people of Algeria, but also to represent the people of Africa. So I just want to conclude in that regard by really thanking the supporters, the people of Algeria, and part of my job as president of CAF is to, and the leadership that we have, is to make a humble contribution to make African football amongst the best in the world. And those who come afterwards must continue. Take it further. Take it further. Because we are confident, our objective, and we are confident in that objective, an African nation will win the FIFA World Cup. We believe in that. And part of my duty is to make young Algerians, young boys in Algeria, young girls in Nigeria, to believe that we are going to be part of that. We will be part of that. We can be part of that. If Croatia with, 3 million people can go to the final, how much more can this great, great nation, Algeria, Senegal, Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Nigeria, the list goes on. They can be there. They will be there. We should encourage them. So, and that's why this charm, you've got to look at every competition that we have as CAF. You must look at it in the context of, we want the best nation and the best team to win, but and that's part of the continuous improvement, upliftment, development of African football, and make it world class. Because we've got a clear plan. We've got a clear plan. We've got a clear objective. As much as we love football and are excited and enjoy it, but our plan as well is to show our people in Algeria, in North Africa, in Egypt, in Morocco, in Libya, in Nigeria, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Ghana, that we are as good as the best in the world and we can succeed at the highest level. And I'm a businessman. I don't invest in businesses which I'm not convinced will succeed. Of course, football doesn't leave much place for the brain. It leaves more, it's controlled by the heart. But we have a good balance between the love we have for football and the confidence we have in the capacity and the ability of African football to succeed at the highest level. Just one final remark. Yesterday at Exco, I had a meeting with the leadership of Exco, which is the highest decision-making body in Africa, in African football. And of course, I had a similar meeting between, when we started with all of the leaders of the 54 nations who are part of CAF. And the 2 points I raised, which are very important, you may ask about it, but I think I should raise it and set the tone. You see, we all love football. Football is the most popular sport, but football should not get involved in politics. And that's why we issued a statement and said, as CAF, part of the rules and the regulations and the statutes of CAF is that we should stay out of politics as much as the politicians and the governments are under duty not to dictate and interfere and direct football. But we also must focus on football development, and of course how we can use football to build our people, to develop our people, and to bring Africans together, to unite Africans. And we were saying that in the context of the political challenges between Algeria and Morocco. And you don't deal with issues in football that are football issues, but that are impacted by politics, and you pretend they don't exist or you ignore them. So principle number one, Algeria is a sovereign nation. Morocco is a sovereign nation. We respect their laws and whatever legislative processes they implement, we respect them. And we should not, as I said, that's why the statement we issued, we will never make pronouncements on political issues. And there was a complaint about the statement that was made at the opening session, when statements that were made by Mandela's son, and there were also allegations that there were derogatory and defamatory statements made against Morocco by some of the supporters. And what we have to do is to let the CAF judicial bodies look at that and make a pronouncement that is independent, that is ethical, that's credible, and that is that all of us can respect, because it's not just about what we think as the leadership. We have a duty to ordinary football people in Africa. An ordinary Nigerian, what his view is of CAF is important. If an ordinary Nigerian feels that, yeah, but the president of CAF and CAF, they are not independent, they are not neutral, and they don't give us, they don't treat us in a just and equitable manner, that will never exist whilst I'm president, because we will do everything that is required to make sure that ordinary people in Algeria, ordinary people in Morocco, ordinary people in Egypt, in every country in Africa, in terms of what we do, not what we say. You know, you can say all the nice things, and your behavior and conduct does not reflect what you say. But in terms of what we say, that indeed football in Africa and CAF is committed to independence, is committed to fair treatment, is committed to justice, and is committed to what some people call the rule of law, which means we follow and will at all times respect the rules, the regulations, and the articles of CAF and of FIFA, and that's very important. One other final issue. There was also a complaint about the non-participation of Morocco in CHAN. And of course, when I went to Morocco, and I invited my friend to come, because there are certain times when, of course, we decide. We as CAF take the decision. But there are certain issues which are governed by the rules and regulations of CAF and FIFA. And we want to make sure that when our lawyers at CAF make a decision, that the thinking legally is also in line with the thinking of FIFA. And that's very, very important. But there was this complaint that Morocco was supposed to be here in terms of the rules of CAF. We're not here. Are we going to take action against that? We will at all times treat every nation justly, fairly. There will be not a single nation that will be treated better or more preferential than any other nation. And of course, as I said, what is not just important is what the president says of CAF, but also what the perception is. So what we've done is, the Secretariat has done what they're supposed to do. Just like there's an inquiry in relation to the complaints about the political statements and the insulting language, there is also an investigation about the non-participation of Morocco in the CHAN and the compliance that all of us, whether you're Morocco or Algeria, all of us have to comply with the CAF and FIFA rules and regulations. So those are some of the issues that we have to deal with. And that's, we've got to be honest and frank with each other. And to be honest and frank with each other is also to recognize that whereas indeed we will never get involved in politics, the politics affect football. When I go to Morocco and they say to me, but President, every nation in Africa can go to Algeria freely. Every nation. But we can't go to Algeria because of the blockade. And then I speak to the government of Algeria, they say, but we want Morocco. And my duty as the president of CAF, I want every nation to participate in every competition. So the government of Algeria says, yes, we want Morocco, but we are a sovereign nation. And we've made this blockade, and they have come in the past through a third party. They didn't come directly. And where we are now, they've got to respect our sovereign rules. Now, football should never find itself in the middle of these contradictory political allegations and statements. We shouldn't be there. We have to follow our rules, regulations at all times. But I'll tell you something else. As much as we will never get involved in politics, we should never, and as much as we will at all times follow the CAF rules and regulations and the statutes, indeed we do want relations between Algeria football lovers and supporters, and the Moroccan football lovers and supporters to be as normal as possible. I mean, I was saying to you, when Morocco won and went to the semi-final, I got messages from Indonesia saying Morocco didn't just play for Morocco, they played for the people who are Muslim, who believe in the Muslim faith. It made us proud. And it's correct. And I think the same will happen when Algeria does well. And when I got messages from the Middle East saying Morocco's success was not just about Morocco, but they say we are Arabs. It makes us proud as Arabs. And I can tell you we are Africans. And we will always in football support every single nation for the development and growth of football, because indeed we are committed and we love the people of Algeria. And we are committed and we love the people of Morocco. And I can say the same about every single one of the 54 nations in Africa. Okay, so let's leave. Don't ask me any political questions, because I had to deal with those issues, get them out of the way, because they are lingering in the background. And I've got leaders in CAF who represent nations who say, President, I love Algeria. I've got a historical relationship with Algeria. But President, I love Morocco. I've got a historical relationship with Morocco. So I'm being asked now to choose between the two. We shouldn't be there. We will never be there. Our commitment is clear. We love football in Algeria. We love the people of Algeria. We love football in Morocco. We love the people of Morocco. The same applies to the people in every one of the 54 nations. So let's talk football now. Any questions relating to football? Let me finally say, today we are going to see beautiful football. Now, I can't say who's going to win. I'm not supposed to. I know who the people want to win here. I also know who the people in Senegal wants to win. But for us, we are so proud. These are the players in Africa. And let me tell you something else that we discussed yesterday. In the past, there was in CAF, you could participate in CHAN if you wanted to, and you may not participate in CHAN if you don't want to. We're changing that. We're going to take a decision and say, because I think there's one or two nations who says that the CHAN contradicts and conflicts with their league. Now, you can't do that. You can't say, you know, I love AFCON. I love CAN, and I'm going to be participating in Côte d'Ivoire. Because, you know, we had more than 500 million people watching Mo Salah play with Sadio Mane, against Sadio Mane in Cameroon. We had 180 nations worldwide watching the finals. So yesterday when I was at Oran, and I left the stadium and the supporters were saying, 2025. I don't know, what is 2025? I said, 2025 now. I don't understand French and Arabic. So I said, Jahid, please, man. What? Because I was waving at them. Because when in our culture, when people wave at you, it's an honor for me. You've got to wave back. So I said, Jahid, what are they saying? And he was smiling. He took too long to answer me. And when we were leaving, he said, they say 2025. I said, what is 2025? So, and of course, EXCO will take an ethical, an independent, a credible, a defendable decision in relation to 2025. But I must say, to see so many Algerian supporters at a stadium where Algeria is not playing, whether Constantine, whether Annaba, whether Oran, or whether Algiers, you feel proud. Whether you are in Cape Town, South Africa, or Lagos, Nigeria, or whether you are in Kenya, Nairobi, or whether you are in Cairo, you feel proud that, I mean, people love football. And what confuses me at times is when one nation scores, wow, they applaud. When the other nation scores, wow. Now, I don't know, who do they support? But I'll tell you something else. And when Sudan played, they support Sudan a lot. So I said, now this is a bit unusual, because all the time they support this one and they support the other one. So Jahid said, I'll tell you in the car why they support Sudan. I don't want to tell you here. And maybe I shouldn't say why. He says it had to do with some other competition in 20 what. Let's leave that for a minute. But football brings people together. In a world where there's so much division and fragmentation, religion is very important. Prayer. We are all children of God. We are all children of Allah. And of course, music as well brings people together. But in our humble way, we are using football to say to the people of Africa, we've got so much to be proud of, and that keeps us together. But also to say to the people of the world, we've got so much to be proud of, and that's so much that puts us together. So I look forward to seeing you. This is the most successful CHAN in the history of CHAN. Why do I say so? More nations than ever before are watching the match live. The number is 80. More than 80. The TV production. Now, I don't watch a lot of TV because I've gone to the matches, but I had to go to Davos with the president of FIFA because we are working on the Super League, and there were some of the biggest banks and the biggest investors that were interested, and they wanted to talk with us more to invest. We need a football club from Algeria, proud football club. But so they say the TV production, world class. People were phoning the CAF people from Europe. That's how it's supposed to be, from South America and different parts of the continent. So I always want to know, explain to me, who is it, how is it, what do we do, why is it that there's so much excitement? They say, in CHAN, they use 28 cameras. Now, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, of course so what does it mean, 28 cameras? In Cameroon, they use 24 cameras for the AFCON. And yet the AFCON in Cameroon was amazing. So the quality of the production, world class. This thing that Africa must always be number 2, those days are over. We love the world and we embrace the world. But we also have got big dreams and big ambitions because we are as good as the best in the world. So we can produce world-class TV production. The stadiums, never in the history of CHAN have you had so many supporters, spectators at the field, at the stadiums. The quality of football. I mean, I am told that there are 18 contracts that were signed. And I do know that there are 2 of the biggest football clubs in the world, the people who, I can't say who own them because then you'll have an idea, but including the ones that are not owned privately. I know the president. He said, we've got our scouts, but we don't want them to come and sit in the fancy places with everybody because then they can pick them up. So they come and they sit with the ordinary people. And they say they saw some young players who are, they don't know how they miss them because they're supposed to pick them up in the under 17. And talking about under 17, I'll be back home. Because when I go to every country, as an African, it is my home. So when I'm in Algeria, it is my home. When I'm in Cairo, it is my home. When I'm in Rabat, it is my home. When I'm in Lagos, it is my home. So I'll be back April for the under 17, which is going to take place here. Beautiful. And because those young players qualify for the world, the FIFA, in Peru. What year is it? No, I know this, the FIFA is this year. Oh. So I will be here to look at our young African players. The next Messi, the next Ronaldo, the next Drogba, the next Sadio Mane, the next Mo Salah is somewhere there. And let me tell you, he's also here in Algeria. He's also in Cairo. He's also in Casablanca. I shouldn't say Rabat because they say Casablanca. He's also in Abuja. He's also in Johannesburg. So so they say, why are you saying he's the best CHAN? Because of the statistics. Because of these criteria. I've got to be tested and judged based on some criteria. The highest number of people, the highest number of nations ever watched it. The highest number of supporters at the stadiums ever. The best quality production and the infrastructure, the facilities, the hotels, the roads, the football pitch in Algeria, world class. Okay, I think I can go now. All right. So let's allow some questions, and as I said, the next time I will be in this beautiful country with really wonderful people is during the under 17. Okay. Now we will go right. We're not saying right wing like conservative, and then we'll go center. In the center, you know, the workers and the management come together in the center. And then I don't want to say socialism, because socialism, they say, is on the left, but there we'll go for the workers. And of course, I come from a country where, you know, the rich people can only succeed if they give hope and future to the poor people. So we have to, the future of the rich depends on the future of the poor. And focus on, of course, run your businesses and make money, but spend the equal amount of time educating, giving hope to the poor and marginalized. Okay, so let's rather start on the, okay, in your hands.
Merci, President. Merci beaucoup. Andre, you have the first question. S'il vous plaît, please just introduce yourself and wish me the
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now, because I always say, because we're in Algeria, those who can speak Arabic, please speak Arabic, because we've got to reflect the beauty of the diversity of languages and culture. Those who can speak French, please speak French. Those who can speak English, please speak English. And of course, as CAF as well, we've got a duty to, we've got Portuguese and Spanish as well. But it's the beauty of the diverse culture and the languages of all of us. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. مرحبا بك مرة ثانية سيد موتسيبي. كنت قد سألتك من قبل هل يمكن أن توجه للجزائريين كلمات تطمئنهم على اعتماد الكاف النزاهة لاختيار البلد الذي سيحتضن كأس إفريقيا 2025. اليوم يظهر جليا أن الجزائر هي من أرسلت لكم ولهيئتكم الموقرة رسائل الاطمئنان من حيث المنشآت، التنظيم، الإخراج التلفزيوني إلى آخره. أرى أنه أصبح من الصعب ذهاب تنظيم كأس إفريقيا لغير الجزائريين. السؤال: هل اقتنعت الكاف ولجانها بما قدمته الجزائر من تنظيم وإخراج وكل ما ذكرته أنت سابقا؟ ونذهب أبعد من ذلك، هل اقتنعت أنت شخصيا أن الجزائر مؤهلة جدا لاحتضان كأس 2025؟ شكرا سيدي الرئيس.
I'm going to answer very briefly so that we can allow as many questions. I think he must be a lawyer, because he asked a broad question, and I think I'll answer broadly. He says, forget about broadly. I want you to tell us what you think. Let me tell you, I can assure you that the decision of identifying a host for 2025 will be taken ethically, will be taken in a fair and a just and an independent manner. But again, let's be frank and honest with each other. There's also going to be a lot of lobbying and a lot of influencing. And I've always said that the one thing we will never ever tolerate in CAF is when there is improper, unethical, illegal in the context of the rules of CAF and FIFA, where people are being told, you vote for, so I'll use South Africa as an example. And I know I'll use South Africa because South Africa is not there. You vote for South Africa, and you tell one of the EXCO members, vote for South Africa, and there's some improper, unethical relationship in terms of how the person is being encouraged to vote for South Africa. If we find any such behavior, we will take far-reaching, of course we will investigate and follow due process, but we have to make sure that the identification, whichever country gets it, that there's an acceptance that the objective criteria, because it does indeed start with the basics. We shouldn't complicate it. Tell us about your stadiums. Tell us about the quality of your stadiums. Tell us about your infrastructure, your roads, your